Hello guys, welcome to Goodness Living. This is Tobile. I am coming live from Durban, North South Africa. So if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back to watch our videos. If you are new, thank you for stopping by. Hopefully you are going to enjoy this video. So today I am shooting a very short video. I had a thought, and I think I've been thinking about this for the longest time, and I think it's something that I thought about even when we were looking for a village land. So my thinking was, maybe I need to contrast my life at the villages versus my life in the cities. What are the things that I'm thinking I'll be able to endure once I live at the villages? Do I think those things my children will be able to endure? Mind you, my children have been born at the cities, so they've never stayed at the villages. So now the question was, will they be able to endure staying at the villages? Would they even like staying at the villages? So I'm going to answer that. And even for myself, after leaving the villages for the longest time, because when I lived at the villages was before my matric, which is a long time ago. So the question is, will I be able to stand, or my husband and I and my children, will we be able to stand staying at the villages? But what are the advantages and the disadvantages of staying both at the villages and at the cities? Okay, so here guys, I am here at my favorite park as I'm starting this video. So I want to contrast my expected to be a life at the villages and my beautiful life at the cities. Which one do I prefer? And also, will I enjoy? Now I'm forecasting, because we are not staying at the villages yet, but will I enjoy, or will my family enjoy living at the villages? Guys, it's not like that we have not thought about these things when we're looking for land at the villages. We have. Funny enough, someone was asking me, yes, we saw you preparing cutting trees and all of that. When are you going to start fencing? Guys, we are going to fence. We are going to do the other things. You can watch one of my videos when I was saying what are the next steps for a village land. So watch that video, which we did earlier, talking about what are the next steps at the villages. So I indicated that we were going to do a whole lot of things before starting to build. Guys, building requires money, it requires investment. So for us, the starting point was just for us to acquire land, which I am eternally grateful that we found land. Guys, I'm here by the park, my favorite park, around here where I stay currently. So it's been raining yesterday. We had a lot of rains. That's why here, this is a wetland. That's why we've got dirty water. So it almost felt like we were having flooding. I don't know, this place has never been this dirty. I'm surprised it's dirty. Someone even dumped waste in here. People don't understand. You're not supposed to dump waste in the wetland. You're not supposed to put waste in the wetland. Waste needs to go in the right place, landfill site, not in the wetland. So if you are one of those that think that when it comes to waste, you just chuck it away, there is no away. Waste needs to go to the landfill site. I am an environmentalist. I don't like seeing littering and waste being dumped everywhere. So now, having said that, come to my topic. So the first thing was, when are you going to fence? When are you going to do this and that? I indicated that we're going to do those things, but first things first, we need to secure money. We need to save up and all of that. And I'd also said, in our land, that in our house that we are staying at, it's an old house. So it needs this and that. It needs renovations. It needs a lot of things. So we've been renovating there and there, bit by bit. And also we've recently moved into that house. So we are still building things slowly. Basically, we've got multiple projects. So we've got projects in the city, and then we've got projects in the villages. So now we're trying to balance, because we have to prioritize, otherwise we're going to be over too stretched and we won't be able to afford. So now coming back to saying, will my family will myself love staying at the villages? Will we enjoy the lifestyle at the villages? For an example, my kids have not stayed at the villages. They were born in the cities, so they don't understand the life at the villages. They've only gone once or twice, like maybe not, to be honest, not like, actually now that I think about it, I'm not even sure if my kids have actually slept at the villages. Okay, yeah, they have slept at the villages, visiting their grandmother from the father's side. But from my side, my kids, I don't remember that they've stayed even a night at the villages. So there are a lot of things that you do at the villages. First of all, I know now some villages have actually upgraded things like water, sanitation, those things are there. But I think one thing that I never used to like, now I'm going to say number one, sanitation and water at the villages. So when I was growing up in some villages, there's still not enough water. There is no water inside the house. So which means if you need a toilet, you have to go outside to use the toilet. If it is at night, it gets so difficult to go outside, because first of all, it's so dark and you would not want to go outside to relieve yourself for a toilet. And also water, there is no flushing, there is no water. Okay, there is no toilet, so it means there is no waterborne system. It means the toilet that you would have is a pit latrine, and then those toilets you'll find them outside. So at night it becomes very difficult. That's number one for a toilet. Then water, when I was growing up, we used to fetch water from the stream. We would put the buckets or 25 liters here on top of our heads, walk long distances after getting that water or after fetching that water to go home so that we can be able to cook, wash clothes and so forth. But most of the time we used to go with our clothes to the river or a spring or wherever we used to get water to wash up. Guys, so there are people with their dogs here because it's a park. People walk their dogs. They walk their dogs. So yes, that was one of those two things. So now I always think to myself, I think now I don't think that I will be able to carry 25 liters on top of my head, because I have not done that for years, and I just feel that I don't have that energy and power to be able to carry like 25 liters of water on top of my head. So that's the second thing. When it's for sanitation, water, those are the big things that becomes a problem at the villages. But let me just qualify the statement. Nowadays at the villages, now they have water. They have water, and then they also have toilet facilities. If you like to have toilet facility inside your house, you can have toilet facility inside your house. If you want to have water inside your house, you can have water in the house. But I'm told where we've just bought land that they've not had water for the past 2 or 3 years. So most people are still using pit latrines. But I think we will make means to make sure that we get water, even if it means we have a borehole or a well, or like we harvest rainwater. We'll make plans. But I know like the villagers in that area, they don't have water. They said they have not had water for the past 2 or 3 years, so they rely on a tanker. And I have seen that they also have pit latrines. So, but as I said, there is an option that you can have those things. It depends on whether you can afford, yes or not. It is dependent on whether you can afford, yes or not, because you can have those facilities that I'm talking about now. Okay, so we've talked about water, we've talked about sanitation, and we've talked about the fact that can you have those things inside your house or not? Whether can we stand with my family, yes or not? So, and then another thing that I think I never used to like when I was at the villages is getting wood or fetching wood from the forest. So when I was growing up, we used to fetch wood from the forest. Oh my, that no, that was a no-no. There is no way that one can tell me that I must fetch wood from the forest. Lucky enough, nowadays you don't have to fetch wood from the forest. You can fetch wood from the forest if you like. I think in one of my other videos I was fetching wood just right over there because I wanted to buy meat from my house where I'm staying here in the suburbs. It was just a niceties, but it wasn't like it was a must that I was supposed to fetch wood. So nowadays, if you can afford stove, you can either get a gas stove, or if you want to get wood, you can get wood, or you can have coal stove, which I wouldn't recommend for pollution purposes. But there is electricity. What is nice though, you can be off grid nowadays, like connect your solar panels and then you generate your own electricity, which I'm hoping that is basically what we are going to be doing. So, having said that, I do not believe that there will be a problem. But if you have to take me back, yesteryear, is that the right terminology or slogan? If you had to take me back, I don't think that I would enjoy to get or fetch wood from the forest, which is what I used to get when I was a child. Fetching wood from the forest so that you can cook. No. My kids would not even know how to do that because we have not taught them that way. So it's one thing that I don't think they would enjoy if we had to stay at the villages and if they had to enjoy that. Guys, another thing that we are enjoying staying at the cities, that can be a problem when we are at the villages. Especially when you are at the villages, you need to try and live in harmony with the community, and at the same time it mustn't feel like that you are looking down on others. It must feel like you're part of the community, you are willing to mingle, you can adapt yourself in different situations. Yes, it's true, there are certain things that are a no-no that I personally would not recommend, that I know for sure that I would not do, simply because of who I am and who my family is. We are Christians, so there are certain things that we would not do that they do at the villages that we personally, because of our beliefs, would not do. So basically we have boundaries. But there are other things that we can sort of like compromise, trying to live in community and in harmony with the community. Or the hadidas making noise. For an example, see how I'm dressed up. I'm wearing pants. At the villages, especially where I come from, ladies, girls, mothers, women are not allowed to wear pants, especially when there are gatherings. Sometimes it's not something that they verbally say, but it's something that you see other people doing. Even where I used to come from, we would not wear pants. Even to this day, when there are events at home, like at the villages at home, now my other home at the villages, we do not wear pants. We do not wear pants because it's not how we were raised. We were taught that as ladies, as girls, as mothers, you have to wear skirts, dresses. You cover up. You really cover up. So those are the things that now I have to understand, that when we stay at the villages, especially if there are events, that when there are events, we will have to comply to wear dresses, especially if we are going to other people's places, if they've invited us and there are events and so forth. Like, I'll make an example. When it was a land transfer, so we went to like it's not a chief's home, headsman's home. So when we were there, I just made it a point that let me just wear skirts, because for me, I didn't want to have people looking on me. Maybe they would not say anything, but I know others, definitely for sure, they will chase you away. They will definitely chase you away and then say you are not dressed properly for the occasion as a female. So I know my kids, especially my daughter, because I've got one daughter, my daughter understands that now, that when you go to the villages, you need to look the part, and when you are in other people's homes, you need to look the part. So now she understands that. She doesn't have a problem. And there is another church that we normally visit to when we want to get a different experience, or when we're going for prayers. It's a prophetic church. So when we go there, at most, as much as I've seen other people wearing trousers, but at most, we have seen most people wearing skirts. I think that's the norm. It's those rare occasions where you see other people wearing trousers. So that is something that I can enjoy. And I know also when I'm going to my in-laws at the villages, I don't wear pants. That's basically something that I would have to enjoy. And headscarf. What about the headscarf? The headscarf, is it something that I can wear? Is it something that I wear? I do wear headscarves, and sometimes I do love them, but at most I don't wear headscarves. But I know that there are occasions where I need to wear headscarves. For an example, when I'm going to the villages at my in-laws, I do wear headscarf. I do cover up. I do wear long dresses, not even dresses that are short or skirts that are short. It has to be long dresses. I do wear those things, but I wear those things for the occasions. At most, I don't stay there for the longest time. I usually stay there for a short duration when I'm at the in-laws. I do that. But now at my home, coming back to the villages, when I would be at my home at the villages, I'll wear those skirts, dresses, and the likes. If now I'm outside in the community, invited for the events and so forth. But at my home, I'll dress up the way I want to dress up. I am very flexible when it comes to dressing up. So if I just always try to read the environment, I always try to find out how people do things at that space, and then I would comply in that manner. I don't have a problem with that. So definitely dressing up, I definitely do not have a problem. Okay, so now that's the dress code. Okay, what else is there? Graves at the yard. We've been talking about this with my husband. Where we go, and here in KZN, they love having graves at the yard. So we've always been asking ourselves to say, do we welcome that practice, having the graves at the yard? I do not welcome that practice. But at this point, I do not know as to how we will be able to deal with that. But I definitely know that that's not something that we are supporting, having the graves at the yard. But in KwaZulu-Natal, especially at the villages, people have graves just outside their yards. We don't have like a communal area where people bury people. So they normally would have graves at their yards. It's not something that I support, because what I've always thought, what if now you want to sell your property? Now you have your grave there, and then no, I don't think that's a good sight to behold. So for me, I'm thinking that's not something that I support. But to be honest, at this point, I'm not sure how we'll be able to deal with that. I love this tree. I don't even know what it's called. It's got red flowers. It doesn't have leaves because it's winter. Beautiful place of ours. So will I miss this type of an environment? Cities? Yes, of course. But at the same time, it's not like we're selling our house where we are staying, or our home where we are staying. This is definitely going to be our first home. The villages will be our second home. So which means we'll probably spend more time here at the cities than at the villages. The villages is our safety net, because we believe that we have to diversify. I think in my other videos, I've highlighted the fact that I've seen instances where you didn't have money to pay for a bond. Currently at the cities, we're paying for bond because we have not finished our home, paying for that bond. So for me, I prefer to say, let's have something where we will not be paying for bond, and where we know that we are building for free, not for free, we are building for cash, that we're not going to be bothered by the fact that, but by the fact that, oh, okay, now do we have money to pay for bond this month? Or if we didn't pay, someone is threatening us to say, by the way, that's not your house, it's our house. Nice, Gabion. Because in honesty, if you are still paying for bond, that house is not yours until it's fully paid up. So that's the reality of life. But sometimes you always say, it's my house, it's my home. It's not your home until you have finished that bond payment, until you have deeds in your hand. So us having a village home would give us an opportunity to claim and say it's fully our house because we would have paid for. Guys, this is a gabion. This is a culvert. There's a wetland over there, and then if it's raining, you will find water passing here, so they're allowing for water. So this is basically a seasonal stream. So that is that. I think there are other things that we'll probably not endure when we're at the villages, but we'll see as to how we'll deal with that. It's a number of them. Maybe I'll talk about those ones in another setting. Maybe make them much more practical, so where I can interview people and hear what they think. Maybe interview people at the villages if they allow me to do so, and then I'll have that as another part of the video, so you must just watch the space. So guys, yes, our land, we're still busy there, but I don't think we're going to be as fast as we would have liked, because most of these things we need money to do them. So we're still saving up money on this and that, but there are obviously short-term activities that we're still embarking on. But because we are working full-time, so sometimes it's difficult. As much as maybe we may have money to do other things, but sometimes it's time. If it's not money, it's time. So we have to balance the two. Time and money, time and money. Yes, there is money, but there's no time. Yes, there is time, but there's no money. So it's a balancing act, basically. So, but definitely for sure, we are working on our land. We made a promise to ourselves to say there are some few things that we'll do and close out before summer. We're still in winter here in South Africa. So before summer begins or before spring begins, we've promised ourselves that we'll do a number of things to enable us to be able to plant for the planting season. So hence that's why there are certain key activities that we would need to embark on fast. Things like fencing, we would have to do that, driveway and so forth, so that we would have fenced the area to enable us to be able to plant. So that for sure we are going to do. So we are hoping that those activities will be able to do them before September, or at most if we are late, by September. So yes guys. So if you have watched this far, thank you so much for always coming back to watch our videos. If you have not subscribed, consider subscribing, and please leave a sweet comment. We'll really appreciate it. And also leave a sweet comment. That really helps us to push our videos in that space of YouTube. Thanks one more time, and God bless you. Bye for now.